What's up, everybody? It's Matt Johnson. We are back with another episode of Real Estate Uncensored. This is the place where you get actionable ideas, insight, and inspiration to turn your real estate career into a life of freedom. We've got an awesome guest, a repeat guest with us today. Monica Weakley is back, and we're talking about the 10 things that hold agents back from massive success. And I feel like we all want that. We all want massive success, but these are things that hold us back. And so we're going to talk about those things. And we're going to talk about some practical things and steps that people can take to resolve some of those issues. Based on Monica's work in real estate coaching. So we've got a bunch of stuff, fun stuff to get into, actually. Before we bring in Monica, of course, the junior grandmaster has crawled himself out of bed, he's crawled out of the primordial soup of his bedroom and thrown himself into his chair and is joining us despite the fact that he's probably going to cough in our ears for the next hour. Greg McDaniel, what's up today?
Just for you, buddy. Absolutely. I'm definitely going to be coughing my way through the episode, but I'm super pumped, man. I mean, we're going to have a great show. Monica's a legend. When I reached out to her a little while ago, and she was just, I'm like, you want to come back on the show? And she was like, absolutely, I do. I'm like, sweet, we'll get her back on. It's going to be amazing. And then Matt, right now, our good buddy Jeff Latham just did a personal introduction to Hal, what's his nuts from the Miracle Morning.
I believe that's the technical term. Hal What's His Nuts. Best-selling author, Hal What's His Nuts.
Yes.
Hal Elrod, yes.
Yes, so he's doing a personal introduction literally just now. We're going to get Hal on the show, so that's going to be super awesome. Jeff, if you're watching, you the man, player. But Monica, the stuff we're going to talk about today, we were chuckling like 3-year-olds behind the scenes about some of the topics we're going to go over today, and you know, I hope you guys enjoy them as much as we do. But I think, Matt, you have a question you're going to kick off with us right off the bat, right?
I do, as a matter of fact, and I like this one, and I like the person who asked it. So this is from Aaron Wittenstein in his own group. Lead gen description objections. The group is at 50,000 and climbing. So, guys, if you're not already a member, please pull your head out of your rear end and go join. So Aaron asks, is there any video texting other than BombBomb? So I was just curious what you guys are using. Monica, let's start with you. Is there any particular way that you like to send videos over to people because I know you're very active in social media and referral generation. So I wanted to get your perspective first.
I'm using videos in social media pretty exclusively, and I will do video texting. So I don't have a system that I'm using, although I know there are some amazing ones out there.
Mm-hmm. So, and then, Greg, what say you?
I was turned on to Bonjoro. It's this one right here. It's really cool. It's an Australian app, and it's Bonjoro, and it's for a couple of bucks. You can either do the free version or you can do the paid version. It's personalized little emails that you can send out right from your phone. Super gritty, super like up in your face. You can upload your database into them. You can put your brand on it. You can do a lot of cool things, I think, with this. Also, Facebook Messenger. If you go to messenger.com, you can do videos through messenger.com. Monica, like you were saying, you can do text, videos of you. There's a lot of different ways to interact and react with your clientele out there. But I think BombBomb is more or less for a overall follow-up, like a sequential follow-up, not a spur-of-the-moment kind of a message. Am I right on that, Monica?
No. So BombBomb is from video email is what I understand, right? So BombBomb is a way that you can hop in, shoot a quick video, and then emails it to the person that you're recording it for, right?
Yes. And they have an app. You can do it on your phone, or you can do it through a camera on your computer, whatever.
Desktop or laptop or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've never used it either. I've been on the receiving end of it a lot with various people that do use it and use it effectively. I mean, it's great. I mean, sometimes it's canned, sometimes it's very personalized to me. So it just depends. One of my favorite things, as far as video texting, is two things. Number one is Facebook Messenger, and especially birthdays. So if there's people that I would consider in my A group, as Hank would call it, if I see their birthday comes up, like I'm going to send them a video, right? Not just, hey, have an awesome birthday, click and then move on. So that gets a huge response. People get a huge kick out of that when they get a birthday video message because it's so unusual. It stands out amazingly well. And then the other thing is Voxer. So I use Voxer all the time. So everyone on my production team for all of our podcasts are on Voxer. I encourage, like if there's clients that want to jump on, like Hank's on. I don't sit around and talk a lot with Hank on Voxer, although it'd be a lot of fun. But you can shoot little, I would say 15-second videos through Voxer. So if you have folks, yeah, I know. See, now you can throw stuff at Hank. Yeah.
Watch what comes up now.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So you can throw little 15-second videos out of people, which is enough for a happy birthday wish or a quick instruction or answer to a question or a good morning or a whatever. So it's a great way that if, like, once you go into Voxer, it will sync up with the contacts in your phone, and it will show you who else is connected there. So you maybe just be able to surprise some people out of the blue and say, hey, I just jumped on Voxer. I see you're here too. Just wanted to reconnect and see if there's anything I can do for you. So that's a great way to reconnect with people in your database that you might be like looking for an excuse to reach out to them, is to jump on an app like that. And then when it syncs, just reach out to people you haven't talked to in a while.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one that's happening into the real estate arena, and that's Storyteller, STORYTELLR.
Yes, I've seen that around, seen some of the promotional material, but don't know much about it. What do you know that I don't know?
I think it's more like BombBomb in that it's more an email, kind of a constant contact approach to videoing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Very cool. Yeah, so there's lots of options out there, but definitely, like, if you can get connected with your folks, especially your A people on Facebook, man, video through Facebook Messenger is where it's at.
Yeah, I do it all the time. It's kind of fun to surprise people as well, because you can show people. I do the audio messages on Facebook Messenger. That freaks people out. And then we do a quick little video. Then they're like, that just blows their minds. But it's really good because you totally stand out from the rest of the crowd. And if you guys don't think you have a face for video, get over yourself. We all still love you. And you're going to grow little white hairs in the social media world if you don't start doing video, because you know what? Those old whippersnappers are going to come up and they're going to be doing videos, and you're going to be all of a sudden obsolete.
Well, the 7 hours of live video I'm doing a week right now, Greg, must not be enough, because I'm getting those white little hairs that you're talking about. Like nothing seems to be stemming the tide. I don't understand.
What were you saying, Monica?
I was going to say it can cause white hairs too. If you do
that is true.
Yes.
Oh man!
But I mean, video is probably one of the better things. What up, Jeff? But I mean, one of the things that I think you guys we really need to pay attention to a lot is in the content that we're producing, is that we need to be very aware of the fact that we do need to be creating audio and video content as much as possible. Because if you are going to try to not just message, but also go out and talk to your consumers and your past clients. Matt, are you getting the video I just sent you?
No, Arne is busy watching and telling me I'm old. In the comments. So thank you, Arne, for that.
Oh, that's funny shit. But honestly, I was watching a video with Gary Vee the other day, talking about how audio and video are just absolutely paramount for your successes in the future in business, in real estate and everything else. So please don't get tripped up on yourself, guys. Please spend some time in front of the camera, out there, talking to your people in either audio or video formats. Do not just type shit. Go become personable.
That's where the connections happen. Is actually also, don't you guys agree? It shouldn't be perfect. Like, people worry so much. I got to take 2, take 3, take 4. Like, take 1 is where people will connect with you because they see you're human. Yeah. And it shouldn't be perfect.
Yep, I agree. Well, yeah, I mean, if you ask any studio musician, it's always the first 1 to 3 takes. Always the best. The more you hack away at it, the worse it gets. Never fails.
Mm-hmm. So guys, stop being yourselves. Go out there and do video and audio and a story.
That's right. All right, couple more things before we dive into the bulk of our content. So Jeff Coach is watching and says, now I know if I'm in the A group by whether I send a birthday video or not. So I got to make sure I stay on that. Now people are going to get offended if they don't get one. Arne specifically says, Matt, I'll be expecting one in October. You have a few months to make the most amazing birthday video ever. But my comeback to that, Arne, isn't the raw and authentic off the cuff, isn't that better and more? Because that's what you're getting. And then Dean has a more serious question, which is what are agents doing to get the ad with Barbara Corcoran? So Dean, here's the deal with that. You have to be a member of RATE, Radio and Television Experts, which is Matt Wagner's company. They're the ones that do all the radio advertising in the top markets across the country. Within that group, they were offered an endorsement deal with Barbara Corcoran, which was, I think, another 5-figure charge per agent. and they had to fly in to wherever Barbara was at, do their part of the commercial with them, and then radio and television experts produced the spot and ran the spot on TV and radio. So that's how all that came about. So for the most part, it's the top agents in each of the top 50 to 100 markets in the country that even had access to that endorsement deal. So just wanted to point that out.
What you can do, Dean, is you can just screenshot yourself next to her and call it a day. I mean,
that's right, exactly. And believe me, don't even bother to run it by a lawyer. Like, you know, they'll tell you no. They'll tell you no, but who cares about that? You just want to make sure you get it photoshopped right in with your arm around her.
Forgiveness always works.
Yeah. Move forward and ask for forgiveness later. Exactly. It's Real Estate Uncensored, delivering you solid real estate legal advice since 2014.
How to Get Sued by Greg.
Could we just find somebody named Barbara Corcoran with a K-O-R?
That would be awesome. Like run her to a hairdresser, have the hair cut short and dyed blonde. Just
Barbara Corcoran with a K. So.
Exactly. Totally
exactly. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. So Jackie's watching and says, "Good morning. Just came into the perfect conversation, holding myself back due to not being perfect or even close." Well, yeah. Let's jump into it. So, Monica, let's maybe talk about that one a little bit first. The perfectionism that plagues so many of us. So how do you help people overcome that when that's kind of their main roadblock? And what do you think is really behind that?
Well, okay, so that was actually, it's very similar to number 5 on the list, which is overthinking. Similar, right? Where we're just overanalyzing, overthinking, overpreparing, all of that. And this is a list of things that I see from agents around the country and out of the country when I'm coaching them. And it doesn't matter if they are tenured and do, $40 million a year, or if they are literally brand new. These are some of the same mindset issues that we have as human beings that stop us from progressing to our top potential, whatever that may be. Number 5 on the list is overthinking. And I see it constantly in certain, if you're familiar with the DISC, in certain profiles, certain character profiles especially tend to do this. And what I can tell you is that without action, clarity only comes with action. Clarity and success come with action. So as you move into action, and as you move through into motivation and what I call experimentation, actually I stole that word from Allison Crow. Do you guys know Allison Crow?
No.
She's a coach. You should follow her. C-R-O-W, Allison with 2 L's. Okay. She's awesome. And she talks about experimentation, and she replaces the word fail forward, because I think a lot of people have such this fear of failure, and that is what stops them in their track. And she uses the word experimentation. And if you think about that word as it pertains to a scientist, when a scientist is trying to find an answer, they will go through experimentation. And the goal is to find what's not the answer on the way to finding the answer, right? It's this expectation of that's a no, that's a no, that's a no. Okay, here's a yes. Let's test for a few more no's. And I love that word. And so maybe that will, I don't know, help people think about it a little differently, because standing still will literally not solve your problems. It will cause failure.
Oh, what do you mean? It won't? It won't solve my problem by not doing anything? This is news. Groundbreaking, shocking shit here.
This is shit. This whole list falls under the category of not groundbreaking.
Well, here's something that has helped me that I've been working on that one of my mentors has to say, and that I've been working on since he said it. I've been thinking about it a lot, and it's been rattling around in my head. Start adequate, good, and great. Of like freeing myself from the idea that I have to build something, do something, start something, whatever, and it has to be great right out of the bat. I think because if I really look at why I'm overthinking something, it's because I want the quality level to come up, right? Like I want to give myself the best chance of success. Theoretically, there's nothing wrong with that. In practice, though, the way that it works is that on the way to trying to figure out something that's great, we don't take action, and that's the problem. And what you're saying is that the clarity comes from the action, and that's 100% true. I think what helps people be more okay with that is that, look, you'll get it figured out. You'll get it to the point where it's great. It doesn't have to start that way. You start with adequate, work your way up to good, then the good, you can tweak at it and tweak it and tweak it and tweak it, and then it turns into great. And that's okay. And that's the process that we all have to go through. That really helped, like just understanding that, hey, just like with the book, for example, and that book ain't even close to coming out. I mean, yeah, it'll be out this year, but like a first draft is done. So I go back through that and I'm like, well, this is crap. Like I would rewrite this whole thing. And of course my mentor's going, well, of course you would. It's called a first draft. Like that's what happens. Like get over it. You know? Like that's what happens when you write. You write and then you get a first draft. You're wildly unhappy with it. And then you go back and you rewrite it. And then you're a little bit less unhappy with it. And then eventually maybe it turns into something great. So I look at that and go, well, am I doing something wrong? And of course his response is, get over yourself and just keep moving forward.
I love that word adequate because I think that is a positive word because it's motion, right? Instead of,
yes.
A lot of people might think of that as a negative word, but you're right. That's motion. That's good. There's a great book for this subject if you struggle with this. If you are a get ready person, which just absolutely will stall you from success, the 5-second rule, Mel Robbins. Great book for somebody who is just stuck. If you're just stuck overthinking.
Yeah. Good. I like it.
Yeah, that's one thing that we do not have a big problem with is the fact that Matt and I, we just take action. Well, I take action immediately. Sometimes I'm going 100 miles in the wrong direction, but at least I figure out I'm going the wrong direction, turn the boat around and head back the other way. Stop shaking your head at me like that, Johnson. Yeah, kind of, not really,
I have
but
to
okay.
point out, I'm contractually obligated to disagree with you on that point.
True that. Touche, good sir.
Thank you.
Oh. But I mean, I've seen a lot of people that fail out of the business because they get ready, then make a spreadsheet, review the spreadsheet, and then get ready to make another spreadsheet.
Totally.
And I just want to throat punch those people. I mean, that drives me fucking batty.
Can I tell you, I'm going to tell on a client of mine, I won't use her name, but I wanted her to do a live video because that's where connection happens, and all of my clients are required to do live videos, and she didn't want to do it, very worried. And so she finally said, I'll do it. I promise. I said, do you have integrity? You're going to do this, or is this a lie? And she said, I'm doing it. So she did it. She said, what should I do? I said, I want you to tell a story that you shared with me about her mom was killed by a distracted driver, a young kid texting, and her mom was killed very early by that. And I said, if you're up for it, I think that would be an incredible share because you don't have to prepare for it. I just want you to come from your heart. Her first live video on Friday when I looked was at like 1,300 views.
Whoa.
For her first live ever. And it's because she was her. She was authentic, and she just stopped worrying about it and just told the story, and she had some passion behind it because it was something she cared about.
Yeah.
All kinds of lessons in there.
Well, it's emotion. Yeah. I mean, like one of the gals that I coached, same thing, Monica. I had to browbeat this chick to do a live video to the point like, look, I'm coaching you. I'm going to return your check, and you're going to get off my bus. Because I'm done fucking playing around with you. Either you're going to do it or you're not, but I'm not going to waste my time and tell you to do something that I know is going to work if you're not going to do it. You make a decision as an adult right now. No, not later, right now. It's like, I'm never getting off this bus. I'm like, then you need to get your fancy ass in front of the damn camera. You need to do a video. I mean, she was sweating bullets. I mean, she finally did it. She had like 300 or 400 people watch it, all phenomenal responses. I'm like, see, jackass, I told you they would like you. She's like, I know, I'm going to make a whole lot more. I'm like,
now you created a monster.
God, I hope so. She'll make a lot of money. I hope she does.
Let me throw out, I've been thinking about this a little bit lately. Let me throw out kind of an alternate use for the 5-second rule. So if you have, and I struggle with consistency because I'm easily bored, right? I'm restless by nature. And I think there's a lot of people that are drawn into real estate that are drawn by the freedom aspect, and we're kind of restless by nature. We're explorers or creatives or whatever. So we always want to be like, kind of want to be dabbling in a few different things at once, which can be good and bad. So I was thinking about this the other day. An interesting application of this whole 5-second rule thing would be when I'm tempted to be inconsistent on something and let myself off the hook on something I've committed to, is that instead of debating with myself over whether I'm going to break the commitment or not, I just make sure that I honor the commitment right then. As soon as my brain goes, you don't have to do that. No. Now's the time I have to do it because just because you said that, now I'm going to make you do it. Right. So I was thinking about that. I was in the gym the other day and I had that moment come up where you're like, I'm getting down to the end of my, do I really need to do that last, a little
Yes.
part of the superset. I'm like, well, now I just moved up the timeline. Now I have to do it immediately instead of giving myself another 30 seconds rest. That's what you have. That's what you get, brain, for doing that.
That's awesome. That's actually number 3 on the list, Matt. What a
There you
segue.
go.
It was, are you being completely honest with yourself? And what level of
Okay.
integrity do you have with yourself? So, are we going on to the next one? Do you want me to do
We can
that?
go on to anything you want. This is your show.
You're the
That was
guest.
a good segue. So here's the example. Greg, if you tell Matt you'll take him to the airport someday.
How about Toys R Us?
What's that?
I'll take Matt to Toys R Us.
Okay, if you promise Matt
Didn't
you'll
they
take him to
close?
Toys R Us.
Yeah, exactly.
And you said, Matt, I'll pick you up at 4 o'clock on Monday, and we're going to go to Toys R Us, and you can pick anything out of the toy aisle. You wait. Well, let's say 8 a.m. because it's morning. You wake up Monday, got a little sore throat. You didn't sleep that well last night. You're sick, hacking all over the place. But you promise, Matt, like you're going to go pick him up and take him. We'll use the airport because it's more important than the toys. But you have integrity. Chances are both of you do, and everyone listening has integrity if it comes to promises you've made to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say on Sunday you had promised yourself you're going to get up. This week I'm going to be perfect with my lead gen. I'm going to do my lead attraction, whatever that is for you. And you wake up, you had a rough night's sleep, got a little sore throat, you are going to talk yourself right out of that 8 a.m. And why is that? Why do you have integrity with everybody else and not with yourself? And this is one of the most common sort of disconnects I see with people, and me included. I have it. Believe me, I'm not above this one. I will lie to myself like nobody's business. I've done it. But if we can have, like Matt, I love your example there. Like if we can just act in the moment and not let those 5 seconds go where our brain works to make us comfortable and get us out of discomfort and pain.
Yeah.
We can have integrity with ourselves and change a lot about our life if we do.
Another thing, whenever there's something I don't want to do, as I think about where I'm going to be in 30, 60, 90 days if I allow this to continue to happen, do I allow myself to continue to give myself an excuse? Am I going to be where I am, worse than where I am, or better than where I am? And so I think about it, and then I'm like, gosh damn it. All right, up and out. Here we go. Hit the gym. Do this. Do the calls. Like I'm working with Gail, and I'm doing 3 send out cards a day, and so I'm actively going out there and just trying to find anybody. I don't give a shit who you are. It's like, oh, you got a business card? Great. I'm Greg. Give me your card. I got to send you a card. I don't know how it's going to happen. One of the girls I sent a card to, Melissa, she got her card today, and she was like, oh my God, I got my card. It's so amazing. Thank you so much. And so these are going to start to trickle in, and I think that being persistent and consistent in regards to sending out the send-out cards, reaching out to people, getting involved with them. And my friend from high school, she lost 60-plus pounds. I sent her a card like, dude, 2 thumbs up, like, way to go, that's huge. She lives in, I don't know, somewhere on the East Coast, but who knows? She knows everyone here in Danville. It might be a referral at some point. It's just one of those things that, I don't like to do it because I find it difficult to do it, but I just button down and I get it done. Like going into the gym.
That it will bring you success. That's one of the keys is, does the task that you're trying to talk yourself into, do you actually believe it will benefit your business?
Yes. So send out cards, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
If there's a disconnect there, then I think that's where it's easy to fall out of integrity with yourself. If you're like,
Yeah, like, I don't know if I was going to do anything like so I'm doing calls, right? And I'm getting my ass handed to me lately on calls. I'm not seeing any progression forward, but I know that it's a numbers game. You keep doing the calls, you keep getting rejected, then you'll find that one nugget that'll pay you $30,000. It's like, okay, I can sift through the BS to get that 1 to 2 nuggets. Then I send them a send-out card. Then I do the follow-up, and I put them through the process. Yes, Matt, I said process, which means system. Oops, the hives are breaking out already. I said systems. But, that's the kind of thing that it does. But I always say this to myself. If I can't keep a promise to myself, how can I expect anyone to keep a promise to me if I can't keep a promise to me? So that's how I always kind of hit myself right in the rear end about this. I'm like, look, Ben, you're your number one. You've got to be able to be the guy or the gal out in the world that's going to put you ahead of everyone else in integrity, like you're saying.
Mm-hmm. And stop making promises that you're not going to keep. Like, that's the first thing, is honesty with yourself about that. Like, stop pretending like, yeah, I'm going to do this, when you know in your gut you're not. Let's just only commit to the things that we are 100% sure will bring us our desired outcome.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I mean, like there's a pool right down here that I look into every day. And when I wanted to get back into swimming, I didn't say I was going to go down there and I was going to swim 100 laps. I said, I'm going to go down there and I'm going to swim 20.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 20 went by like that. And I'm like, well, there's 20. And I said, I'm like, can I do for more? Go for more? I'm like, nope. You said 20. Make it fun. Get up. Go back to work.
Mm-hmm.
Next day was 25, then 30, then 35, then 40. And it progressed up. All of a sudden, I was doing 100 again. And it was fun.
Yeah. And you didn't try to change too much. That's one of the biggest bombs that blows up our integrity is when, like on Sunday, you decide, I'm going to eat healthy, run 10 miles every day, do my lead gen. Like you create this day that only a freaking robot would be able to actually achieve. And then we feel horrible about ourselves at the end of the day because we didn't do shit. Can I say that?
And this is why I love, there's a phenomenal book called The Systems Mindset, which is written by a guy that has a very similar personality and approach to me, but it's not written for business people. It's written for just like self-improvement. And it's a phenomenal book. And he points out that, look, we all have these systems that we run in our lives. Like our diet, our exercise plan is a system. And he says that system produces exactly the result that it produces, and it works exactly as it's supposed to work 99.9% of the time. It's producing the result it's going to produce, and it just keeps going. It just keeps spinning. So the thing is that, like, if you understand that, like, our life is not a collection of just a bunch of stuff that we do and stuff that happens to us. It's a collection of systems that are running, that are producing results. All we have to do is start what he calls going down into the basement and tinkering with the machinery a little bit until the systems start producing the results that we want. And yeah, you're exactly right, Monica. What most of us do is we go, oh, my motivation wasn't high enough. So let me get into a motivated state. Let me watch some YouTube videos. Let me do this or that, or let me go to a Tony Robbins conference, and I'm going to come home, and I'm going to make this, and this change. And tomorrow is going to be like the perfect day. And then after that, I'm going to do another one that's a perfect day. The problem is the systems that we've installed in our lives, it's like everything is like, like we just threw a giant monkey wrench into the entire machinery that runs our entire life. And some people can do it, and it's the outlying cases that people get enamored with, but it's because they're outliers. That's why they make amazing stories, like these people that have unbelievable short-term transformations. They turn their life around. 90 days, they're a whole different person. The reason why those are stories is because it's a hero. It's a hero to us. It's unusual. So I love the approach of, like, look, you have a system going on with your lead gen right now. First of all, commit to what you've committed to already, right?
Right.
So whatever that is, commit to it and then actually follow through. And then let's look at whatever that next step is, right? Don't try to make tomorrow the absolute perfect day. Look at each thing as a system that can be improved. So those are some of the things that I've been reading and thinking about lately. I know Greg is allergic. He's having an allergic reaction right now.
I am.
The Systems Mindset by Sam Carpenter.
I like that. In coaching with some of my clients, what we look at is if you were to put one system in place in your business, and this could translate into your life, one system in place per month for this year, what would your life look like at the end of the year?
Yeah.
And so you have 12 system improvements, and you have 30 days to tinker with, go in the basement and tinker with the system. And so it's not all happening on Monday. And plus, why is it always Monday? Isn't that hilarious? Usually, like on Tuesday, we're like, on Monday.
We sit around on Sunday and we watch football and drink beer. And we're like,
I just tortured myself.
That's right. Wandering around like a lost grizzly bear going, I really need to get my shit together.
Yeah. And that one kind of flows into number 4, which is, are you too comfortable? And the opposite of that is, well, not really the opposite, but I think a lot of people don't have enough pain to have that true motivation to spin their life around on a dime.
Yeah.
Because you have a roof over your head, you have meals, your kids have meals, you've got clothes, like you may not be the only breadwinner, so you're comfortable. Like life isn't horrible. And so you have to ask yourself, am I back, like how can I back myself into a corner if I really want to do it? How do I burn the ships? Mm-hmm. Because that's where you'll do whatever. If I ask a mom, like, you need to talk to 100 people today so that your kid eats tonight, because your kid will not have a meal tonight unless you talk to 100 people about real estate. What do you think that mom's doing?
Talking to 100 people.
Easily. And
Oh,
she
yeah.
wouldn't sit and ask me, who should I talk to? I don't know who to talk to. She would just go figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
So her motivation there is severe enough and dramatic enough, and she's got emotion around it. And so I think a lot of times, if you're being honest, are you too comfortable? Are you just good enough with your life that it's okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so just be honest about that. That's okay. If that's where you're comfortable, good. But just be honest about that and quit trying to accelerate it to some level you don't really, really want.
Yeah. I think the really one thing is the most important thing there. I mean, people say they want stuff, but they only say they want it because other people are saying that they should have it. It's not something that they truly want to have for themselves. And that's where, I mean, I when I was doing my McDaniel Challenge coaching calls, people would have the same thing. Well, who do I call? I don't know who to call. I'll just break it down. I'm like, look, you're going to have 2 conversations with your kids at Christmas. One of them is going to be, hey, sweetie, we have an all expenses paid. We're going to have breakfast with Mickey and Minnie. We're going to have lunches with Donald Duck. We're going to get the front of the rides. We're going to stay at the Disneyland hotel. We're going to do, like first class. Or the conversation is going to be, sorry, honey, Daddy's a broke ass fool. He didn't make his phone calls because you weren't important enough to him. And oh my God, I love it. When it goes dead silent, then I hear, I'm like, job is done. Drop mic.
That's right.
I love that.
That would have gotten a measure of silence from me, and a lot of pins dropping. You tried to pull that with me.
Yeah, but I know your affinity for children. You want to make them happy.
We got a couple comments here. So Pharaoh's watching, says, yes, Monica, I got comfortable and have just found new motivation to push through that feeling of comfort. Great point. Romulus says, love it, Monica. So yeah, I mean, that is something where, and Greg, you gave a great example of helping someone connect with their big why, whatever that is. And sometimes it's hard to keep that dream. Like if we don't have the pain, and we tend to be motivated by avoiding pain, once we get above the pain level just a little bit, yeah, it's hard to motivate and keep going, keep pushing when we're out of the pain. So, and I don't have a perfect solution for it, but connecting with your why is one of them. And then again, going back to the systems mindset, it's if we do everything, if the only time we take action is when we're motivated by pain, then the action stops as soon as we get above the pain threshold, right?
Very true.
Yeah. So I think to me that's a great argument for looking at things as a system and keep on tinkering, right? If it's not giving you the results that you want, but you're not in pain, you're comfortable financially, that's okay. Like just keep going down, like schedule it in, just keep going down into the basement and tweaking the machine that's producing the results up on the first floor. And the results on the first floor don't have to be painful to force you down into the basement to keep tweaking, right? It's more of like, okay, like this is running, it's producing some results. I'm making some income. Like I'm comfortable. My kids are comfortable. Like we get to send them to, like they're doing good in public school. I like to send them to private school, but they're doing good in public school. Yeah, I mean, we have to keep tinkering on the system. And I think that's where that mentality really can help the right type of person. Now, it won't help every personality type, but for the right person, that can really help. Some other people just need to pay for a kick in the ass. And for some people, that's why they hire coaches. And in fact, they gravitate to coaches that will kick them in the ass because that's actually what they want. And that's fine. Like more power to them.
Right.
Masochists.
Exactly. Well, and think for parents, you brought up, schools and kids, and think for parents, ask yourself, what are you modeling right now? What are you modeling for those that are watching you? And believe me, they're watching you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And is that what you want for them? That like live right above the discomfort line and life is okay? Because that's what you're teaching them. And it's something to think about, and that also motivates a lot of parents. It's where I've had some really good conversation with clients who are parents. Is this what you want for your kids? Because it's exactly what they're learning at a really, really high level right now.
Yeah. That's really good. Who was it that said it? I think Tony Robbins said it. He said, we're living at the lowest common denominator to satisfy our quality of life. So basically, you're doing just enough to live where you want to live and no more. That is it. I mean, zero effort beyond what you absolutely have to do. Mm-hmm. So change your mark of where you have to be.
Right.
I mean, that's a simple thing. I mean, if you're doing 5 deals and that's a month or 2, let's say a deal a month, right? And that's satisfying you because it's your husband or wife is bringing in some good money. It's a comfortable living, right? But what if you change that half to like, oh shit, like little Johnny, knock on wood, they're some of Matt's kids' friends. They have diabetes, and so then we just finally have type 2 diabetes. Monica, I always pick on Matt's imaginary fat kids that, go through floors.
Monica's like, did I miss something?
Yeah, the look on her face like, what the fuck was that?
I just wonder if we had to go there. I don't know. It's fine.
Of course we do. It's Matt's kids.
That's right.
But I mean, the thing is, like, if you had to change because life changed on you, what would you do? You'd step up and you'd do it. I mean, it's end of story. So just mentally shift into that new realm and start making the changes you need to make, and don't give yourself an opportunity to not do it. Hire Monica; she'll kick you squarely in the booty.
That's right.
And get you moving again.
Or go buy the car that you can't afford. Go do it. Like, make yourself really freaking uncomfortable, and let's get started. Right?
That's what. Go buy the car you can't afford.
Yeah. That's my advice. I'm not a financial planner. I'm just a coach.
Yeah, if you got to have your back against the wall. I know a lot of guys like that. Actually, James Colburn said that on the show, that he was that guy. This is before he wrote Re-Succeed and went through that whole transformation process. He said, I was that guy. That every last free penny I had went into the next investment property so I'd have my back up against the wall again. Crazy. Like, he's making $1 million a year and still doing stuff like that just to keep putting his back up against the wall. Elon Musk did it when he risked everything on he sells PayPal and then puts it into SpaceX and Tesla. Did the same exact thing, went all in.
Yeah, had to borrow rent money. That was the funny part about it. He's made $120 million and you have to borrow rent money? Someone's a bad money manager. Just going to say.
Financial planner.
That's right.
So
we're not going to have time for all 10, but I do want to work our way up to the other 2 that we have in the top, in the first set of 5, and then Monica will get you back to talk about the other 5. So this is awesome. I love that you came up with all this content, because now we get to have you back very, very soon. I love it.
I'm no dummy. I am no dummy.
Right. All right, so let's talk about number 2, the most important muscle for success. And what is that?
Okay. Please argue this point with me if you think you can. But When I look at successful agents, business people, anything, it is clearly resourcefulness. Like, these are people that don't need to wait around for the path to be paved, the instructions to be laid out, the answers to be given. They will freaking find the answer. I mean, I'm not kidding you that I get excuses like, hey, did you do your whatever on Facebook? I lost my Facebook password this weekend. I cannot figure out what it is.
Oh, God.
Are you kidding me? And other ones that you just wouldn't even believe. So it's,
my dog ate my Facebook password?
Yeah, that too, for sure. Hey, did you hold any open houses this weekend? Well, I don't have any listings. Really? Okay. It's, if you have to wait around for the answers to be presented for you, or the path to be paved, or to tell you exactly do these 10 things, I think you're missing out on acquiring one of the most powerful, resources, basically. One of the most powerful resources is resourcefulness. I think Tony Robbins said that, actually. So what do you guys think about that?
I completely agree. I mean, we have never lived in a better time than right now. I mean, in all honesty, these cell phones that we have in our hands are more powerful than what Bill what's his nuts? All right, one of our ex-presidents. No.
Oh.
Clinton. When Bill Clinton was in office, these cell phones have more power in our hands now than he had as the president when it comes to technology and communication-wise. So when it comes to the, Peter Diamandis, he talked a lot about this in his book, Abundance. And it's just a truly amazing to look at what he talks about when he digs up is, so the resources are everywhere around you. Oh, I don't know what to do. Bullshit. Get onto YouTube, get onto a podcast, watch and learn. Oh, I just don't know what to say. Bullshit. Go out there, talk to a top agent, go watch a podcast, go read a script. Everything is free now. So the resources are there. It's just what you're going to do with them, because you're either going to make something happen or you're not. It's very simple. It's a yes or no answer. And people, when they say, well, I don't have blah, 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 I honestly tell them, like, please get out of the business. I'll refund you your money. I mean, there's a phenomenal job at Walmart with a nice blue vest. You can say, hello, welcome to Walmart. I love you. Welcome to Walmart. I love you. I mean, that might be a more fulfilling path for you. But being a real estate agent, if you're not going to grow the balls that it's going to take for you to actually go out there and change your life, get out of the business. Your spouse is going to hate you. Your kids are going to resent you. You're going to see nothing but downward, everything in your life, in your business, because you aren't going to do what it takes. Get out of the business. Mm. And people are like, I can do it. I'm like, really? Prove me wrong. Because right now I see a Walmart greeter. And they're like, I'm not a Walmart greeter. I'm like, I got a blue vest, size small.
Prove it.
Well, and it expands because you'll need it.
It's elastic.
Like, I love how you put it, that resourcefulness is a muscle that needs to be built. And the reason why is I think one of the key things that we're missing just in the search of massive success is commitment, the ability to commit to an outcome that we don't quite know how we're going to achieve yet. And if we understand that resourcefulness is a muscle and we've been building it up along the way in other things and other commitments, and we use our resourcefulness on a daily basis, it makes it a lot easier for when that big opportunity comes along, whether let's say it's a luxury listing that we've never taken before or something like that, like some big opportunity that comes along in our real estate career. And we can go, great, I don't have to know how to figure everything out, but I'm going to commit knowing that I'm resourceful.
Right. If you can rely, if you trust yourself enough in that regard, then you can say yes to anything you want to say yes to. Mm-hmm. If it's a trust of ourselves. And there's two things that I think we don't do that can help us be more resourceful. And one is to ask for help. But just say it out loud. I need your help on this. You call past clients. Look, I'm trying to hit a goal. Who do you know might be making a move this? I need one more sale this semester. Semester. What am I in college?
I'm like, when did we do the semester? All right, well, that works.
I don't know, whatever. And the second is to say it out loud. I mean, the power of saying what you're trying to achieve out loud will cause you to need to be resourceful because you have a need to achieve it now. Anything that I've achieved at any level of discomfort was helped by me saying it out loud and asking for help.
Yeah. Is very true. For the best example I can think of right now is the fact that in the last 3 years I've been telling everybody that would listen that I wanted to do radio, real legit radio, and everyone's like, yeah. No, I'm glad you have good goals, Greg. And I get an email from my now co-host Tiffany, and she was just talking about ad buys and media buys, and she mentioned radio, and I was this close to not emailing her back and asking her, to pick her brain about radio. And I'm like, what do I have to lose, right? Let's just see if she can help me. One thing led to another. Last Thursday, we signed the deal for a year-long contract with KGO Radio. It's because I reached out and I needed help. And I told her, I don't know what to do. This is my dream. This is my goal. I don't know how to do this. She's like, Greg, I'm in media. I have all the systems. I know all the people. I used to work at the station. I can handle all of that. If you can handle the content on air in the beginning. I'm like, yes, I can.
Because you asked somebody a question. You didn't have to say, I feel stupid that I don't know this. Or, you just became vulnerable and asked.
Exactly. Yeah. But shockingly, what would happen if she said, oh, well, it's not going to work out because of this? Okay, no problem. Keep on trucking. Life didn't change. But I asked, and I was vulnerable, and I was transparent with her. I said, these are my strengths, these are my weaknesses. She's like, these are my strengths, these are my weaknesses. We're a perfect pair, like a hand and a glove, and we're off and running. So if there's something out there that you guys are trying to achieve, ask someone who's done it or doing it at a high level and say, look, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. Could you help me get there? Or could you give me a tip? Can I buy you lunch? Just ask. Ask Matt for his phone number. He'll give it to you. Just ask.
That would be a mistake. But let me jump in there. There's a couple of mistakes that I made when I first jumped into the business, and not asking for help was one of them, because now contrast that with Jeff Cohn, who gets into the business relatively the same time that I did. He goes out and interviews 20 of the top agents in Omaha. Didn't get a lot of anything of value, but he found out kind of like a little bit about what they were doing and stuff like that. Flash forward, I think 3 to 4 years when he sets out to build a team, he just starts cold emailing and calling some of the top team leaders that he can get a hold of and asking like, hey, can I fly in on my own dime and come and tour your office and just pick your brain, talk to your staff, just see how you run your operations? They're like, sure, okay. Well, guess what? Now he runs a multi-million-dollar real estate team. So that's, if I would have done that in the beginning, I would have had a lot better idea of what to do to hit the ground running, who to avoid, what mistakes to avoid, what I didn't want to be like. And I probably would have figured out that maybe I didn't like the actual client part of the sales process. Maybe I would have figured out earlier that I like the marketing and team building part and would have never got into the sales part to begin with. Who knows? But I know that I made a massive mistake by not asking for help and not going to the people that already knew how to do something and just asking how they got there. And I see a lot of people make that mistake. They do it with building online courses. They do it with, working with, I want to go and work with luxury listings. Great. Have you ever worked a luxury listing? No. Have you ever talked to a single solitary luxury agent ever? No. Do you know anybody that has a home over $1 million? No. Have you talked to any of them? No. Like we do this all the time. We pour hours, thousands of hours of work and thought into a direction and never once ask anybody for their opinion or for help.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Matt,
Amazes me.
Why do you think, looking back on it, why didn't you do that? Where was that?
Oh, purely. Well, that is a great question. And I don't quite know the answer. I'm still trying to figure it out. Number one is I remember that time period, and that literally did not occur to me. Now, I think the reason it didn't occur to me was probably just confidence stuff, I think, at that point, just being young and stupid, and either being a combination of not wanting to reach out to people and just figuring I could do it myself. Mm-hmm. We got into a coaching program, and I just plowed ahead and just I found something that I connected with and said, yep, this is the direction I'm going, and just put blinders on and did it. And I should have done that in my early 20s too, like late teens, early 20s, when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Why didn't I just call up different people and say, hey, do you mind if I shadow you for the day and just kind of see what you do? It's amazing now, hanging out with ultra successful people. Now I know how many of them would love to get that call. Oh, yeah. When I was in my late teens, early 20s, I didn't know that, because guess what? I didn't know any super successful people. And I wanted to be successful, but I also didn't ask for help. So if I would have asked for help and just gotten around people that were super successful, I would have figured that out a lot sooner, that they're super giving, super generous with their time to someone that approaches them in the right way and just asks for their help.
Love that. Cool.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, we got one more.
How many people don't, like Matt, in the beginning part of our show, I mean, I always would give my cell phone number out, like, hey, call me, 925-915-1978 if you guys want to talk. Crickets. It's hilarious. Like, people just don't call. They don't reach out because they're afraid of whatever is going on in their mind about, like, oh, well, there's probably not enough time or whatever else. I'll tell you right now, and Monica back this up for me, and Matt back it up as well. If you reach out to an ultra successful person and you take their time, you implement and take action on what you discussed, and then come back to them and say, okay, Matt, I sat down with you. I really appreciate your time. These are the blah, 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 blah things that we talked about to do. This is what I did with this, and this, and these are my results. What should I do next? That person will probably take the rest of the day and outline whatever you need to become successful, because they feel important to the fact that they're giving back to a person or the industry or something along those lines. And it's not an ego play. It's more of like, holy shit, like, this person actually listened to me, like, and they got good results. And why wouldn't I want to help out? Now, the mid-level people are not going to do this. I mean, Bob from Remax not going to do this. Okay, that fool. I mean,
that's right.
He's not sharing anything.
He's not sharing. No, he's not.
Sharing anything. It amazes me. I do have people reach out. Hey, can I pick your brain on something, whatever? And I'll sit down with them, go out to lunch. I used to. I don't anymore because my time, my schedule, my system. Hank Avink's got a hold of my schedule. But I did, and they would freaking talk the whole time and not ask me one flipping question. Or then maybe they'd start with one, and then it was all that they're going to do, or all that they have done in the past, and I'm sitting there thinking, this is truly unbelievable. It's like, well, good luck. And I can predict their level of success by the fact that they don't ask the right questions.
Or any questions, except for, hey, Monica, how are you? What's the special for the day? Oh,
Right.
the tilapia? Fantastic. Now, back to me.
Right.
The star of the
Push
show,
the
you're like,
fish, about to turn.
but I mean, be constantly in a state of curiosity, guys. I'm always asking questions. I mean, this whole radio thing, I don't know what to do. Guess what I'm doing? I'm watching YouTube videos of DJs. Like, how do you do this shit? I'm gonna ask the engineers. I'm gonna ask other DJs. I'm gonna pick these guys' brains. I'm like, are you on air? You're not on air, bro. I'm totally a newbie. Like, how do I not look stupid? Like, I really need to learn this.
Yep. You know, a lot of people have a fear of I don't know what to say. And here's the greatest thing about questions is you don't have to think about what to say. You just ask questions. It's with your clients. It's with anybody. Just come from curiosity, ask questions, try to get into their brain and their situation through questions. You don't have to rehearse a script. You don't have to say the right things. Just ask questions.
You hit it right on the head, Monica. Matt, Jeff on Friday, that's exactly what he was saying too. It's like, forget the script, forget the 22-point, PowerPoint, slide presentation. Just get in there, build rapport, ask questions, be genuinely interested in what the other person's going to be telling you. Try to work on a solution for them. No, it doesn't matter what it is for you. It has to be for them. They will naturally gravitate towards you because they know that you're in their corner. And that's the thing. We try to trick people out and into business. Dude, the BS meters are really strong these days. I mean, we can smell this a mile away. Just be authentic to you. And if it's like, this is authentically me, T-shirts, baseball hats, shorts and no shoes. I mean, this is my happy place, right? And I tell my clients that. And I don't have anyone mad at me. Because like, oh, dude, that's totally like me too. It's cool. But I dress for my environment. So you get to do the same thing for your environments. But Monica, if you were not Monica the legend, if you were the new agent, or if you were advising a new agent, what is a question that you'd say, okay, you don't know what to say, you don't know what questions to ask. What's maybe 2 or 3 super simple questions that can just get the ball going, for the conversation?
Okay, so as far as a listing, taking a listing or a buy?
Listing or buyers or just getting your feet wet in the real estate industry. I mean, you pick, but anything really, just kind of get the whole ball
One
going.
of my favorite questions for a buyer as you're going through a consultation, which by the way is a must. You must sit down with your buyers so that you can show them that you're leading them through the process. My favorite question is, how do you make decisions? This opens up that, first of all, they've never thought of it. So they need to think about it. But this will enable you to do a better job for them and to be prepared through the process. How do you make decisions is a great buyer consultation question. Listing, I always like the one, it depends on how the conversation's going, but something to the effect of, what concerns you the most through this process? Like, what are your biggest fears? Let's just get those out because, I have a fear that I'm not going to get enough money. I have a fear I don't know how to juggle, the buy and the sell. I have a fear that my neighbors are going to blah, 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 whatever that is. So just that kind of authentic, what are you nervous about here? Or what makes this a perfect 10? You can go the other side of this. How does this work out? Blue sky, perfect 10 for you. Show me what that looks like, and let's see what we can do to get it there.
I love that. Blue sky, perfect 10.
Well, and then
cool.
where the bar is set, right? Because some people don't have the bar set as high as you think, and you're trying to over-deliver and over-impress, and they're like, all I want you to do is show me the facts about the market. Like, that's all I care. Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, it does. Okay, so what's a question for a new agent talking to either their manager or a new agent talking to a top producer, trying to get some good information so that they aren't afraid of their own shadow?
Okay. I would ask, if I were to do one simple thing every single day for 6 months, what one thing would have the most impact on my career?
Wow. I like that one.
Just one thing. What do I need to be doing every day?
Walk outside, take 25 business cards. Monday, you go left. Tuesday, take 25 more business cards, you go right. Don't come back until you hand out all 25 cards to God. I don't care who you hand them out to. Don't put them all in one lump sum and throw them in the garbage. But if you go door knocking, if you're walking around your kid's school, I don't care where you are, 25 people, get your business card and then you go home. No discussion involved. If you don't hand out 25 cards, don't come home until you do. I mean, the gas station attendant is a viable prospect. Really.
I love it. I love it. If that's the one thing that has worked for you and you know that, then this is a great answer.
There's a guy named Dick Ward that I coached with another number of years ago, and I was trying to be a smartass when I first coached with him, and basically the long and short of the story is that he sold 2,500 homes in his best year, and he started out by just handing out 25 business cards a day. Yeah, that's a lot of homes in a day. I mean, in a year. Yeah, if you sell that much in a day, we got real talk. But
well, Monica, I want to get your perspective though. How would you answer that question? I love the question, but now I want to hear your response to it. What's the one thing?
Well, I fully subscribe to the 36 to life approach to business, which if you don't know what it is, Hank Avink and the National Coaching League 36 to life is a strategy on social media where you are literally showing up for people as a human being and acknowledging and recognizing them in their space the way they want to be recognized and acknowledged, and you're showing up for them. And at the same time, you're flying your real estate flag so that they know what the hell you do every day, and those two things are like gear shifts, and that's where the leverage for the referrals comes. And too often we're just on Facebook showing up as a cool human being, but we're not flying our flag, or we're on Facebook flying our flag, and not being a damn good human being. And you can't get any leverage if you don't do the both together. Yeah. So there's a daily activity through that course that you do, and I would tell them to do that, which just has to do with how we interact on Facebook.
I think that's. I would agree. Yeah, 100% agree.
And we both know what you're talking about. And Hank's talked about on his on his appearances on our podcast, guys. So go back and pull the Hank Avink's previous episodes, and you'll hear him describe exactly what he's talking about. It's probably the best. Hear it straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak.
Very, very true. Very true.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So Monica, how do people connect with you? Where can they see you fly your flag?
They can see me fly my flag. You know, I do have my Coach Monica, which is my business page, but quite frankly, you'll see more of authentic Monica on just Monica Weakley, Weakley, just my personal page.
Nice.
Very cool.
On Facebook. Yeah.
And then if they're interested in working with you, what's the best way to reach out? Should they reach out through Facebook Messenger?
Private message. Yep. Just private message me. Yeah. Super easy. I'm definitely a Facebook girl.
Right, I pity the fool that doesn't reach out to you, Monica. I pity the fool.
Oh, thanks, Greg. Thanks, Matt. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I've got a couple one-on-one spots, and then I do have some group coaching that I do. That I have a couple spots in too. So.
Yeah, and guys, if you resonate with Monica and with the approach of building a business, a sustainable lifestyle business that's based on repeat and referral business at its core. Not that you can't also add prospecting and things like that, but if you want that to be the core, so that you always have a dependable, sustainable business outside of what else might be happening in real estate and what other leads you might be paying for and all that stuff, that you have that solid core. I can't recommend like the whole 36 to Life program strongly enough, and Monica is a phenomenal person to get you started and get down that path with. And then for those that if you're interested, you can actually, for those that are interested in joining up with us, Greg, they can actually get 36 to Life for essentially just an admin fee, as close to free as we can possibly make it. It's one of the things that you get from jumping up with us, because obviously we're under Hank within EXP. And so anyone that's kind of in this tribe with us gets that for, as close to free as we can make it. So, Greg, how do people connect up with you and learn more about what we're doing?
As you guys see right now, go to bookmcdaniel.com. Again, that's bookmcdaniel.com. For you guys who are listening to this, go there as well. Get 30 minutes with me. I really do want to talk to you. I'm not kidding around. This is not some smoke I'm blowing up your skirt. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. Let's see if there's actually some synergy here. If Matt and I, if our people are a good fit for you and your people, good. Let's talk. If not, cool, man. Still love you. Keep watching the show. There's enough business for all of us out there. We just want to help and be around the people that we've influenced. We want to bring more value to you. So we have a Kim Kardashian Ask the Value, which I actually get a lot of people bringing up. That's always funny. People are like, can we talk about the Kim Kardashian ass? I'm like, yes, we can, Jiggles.
Who doesn't want to talk about that? So.
I mean, come on, who doesn't? I mean, jiggle, 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 jiggle. All right. Anyways, but there's gonna be a lot of good stuff.
President, I think.
I have so many comments.
Oh my God.
But you know what, guys? Go to there, bookmcdaniel.com. Book some time with me. I'll love you no matter what, but I would love to have you on my team if you guys are thinking about it. So, Matt, we need to have a color for our bow.
Well, Monica, what is your primary color there? Is it a kind of a turquoise blue? Am I seeing in the background?
You mean on my logo?
Yeah, on the logo. Not a turquoise blue. Is it a not a?
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say I couldn't see it when you were tiny down there, but it's kind of like a teal blue.
A little more like a light royal blue.
Light royal blue. All right, light
All right.
royal blue. I like that.
Okay, we are so splitting hairs on that, guys. It's blue.
We're putting a light royal blue bow upon this episode.
What are we talking about?
This is
Wrap it
we
up.
always put a bow on the show, and we're picking your color for the show. A light royal blue. Yes.
Perfect.
Didn't even know that color existed. But today I'm learning something new, everybody.
That's right.
You guys, hey, we love you guys. That's why we've been doing the show for 3.5+ years. We're not going to stop. We love bringing people like Monica on because she is a wealth of knowledge. Guys, it's an hour-long show, and we only got through 5 of her 10 things that we wanted to tackle. So she's going to come back. She's a wealth of knowledge. She's a phenomenal coach. She's definitely worth having an inquiry call with to see if it's right for you. And I know that it will be. If you're looking at her going, I like this chick, I dig her, hit her up. She'll hit you back. She doesn't bite hard. But you know what, Monica, thank you again. You are absolutely amazing. And guys,
thank you so much. I love you both, and I appreciate you both and what you do.
oh, thank you. See, Matt, people like me. But he's like, what? Until the next time, go around. Thank you. Share this. We love you. And as always, peace out, ninjas. We gone.